Hi, I'm Lisa Bedford and I'm the Survival Mom. And today I wanted to share with you two statements that I hear made quite often, mostly by women. And I wanted to share my thoughts to go along with those statements. But before I do that, I wanted to just tell you about an insight that I had recently with my kids. I was driving around town on errands and I had about 15-20 miles to go between point A and point B. And I'm focusing on the road and I'm just kind of watching other cars. And then I glance over at my daughter. She's sitting next to me in the front seat. And she has her earphones in and she's listening to her music, staring out the window and completely relaxed. My son is in the back seat and I can peek in the back rearview mirror at him. Same thing. He's staring out the window and thinking, 10-year-old boy thoughts. And it dawned on me how much my kids trust me and what a beautiful picture of trust that is. They get into the car at our home and they have no question in their mind that I will keep them safe until we get to their destination. Every single time. And they aren't sitting there on pins and needles. They aren't gripping the seats, and with their fingernails, clawing into the fabric of the seat. They just know that mom is going to get them there safely every time. And when our kids put that level of faith in us, I think that we can do no less than deserve that trust, first of all, and then always be thinking how we can make sure that those kids are safe and as secure as we possibly can. So here is one statement that rubbed me the wrong way, I have to admit. And I heard it a couple of weeks ago when this woman said, "Our family will never ever own a gun." And I began to think about that and I thought about the implications. If she was single and living alone, I believe that not having a gun it would be up to her. If her home was broken into or intruders came in during the night while she was there, if she surprised an armed burglar, by coming home from work early, well, you take your chances. But what if your kids are in the house? And by choosing not to have that layer of protection, she's choosing to make everyone in her family equally vulnerable. Now, I know that gun ownership comes with a great deal of responsibility. And any anti-gunners who talk and imagine that people with guns, just wildly firing them off, and we leave loaded guns sitting around the house as centerpieces on a dining room table. That's just nuts. Every gun owner I know has gone out of their way to make sure they are trained and they get his practice in at the range as often as they can. And they really take precautions when their kids are around, but not just proofing the gun, but also gun proofing the kid. And so responsible gun ownership is a huge piece of that. But by saying we will never ever own a gun, you're making that decision for everyone in your household. That kind of ties in with another statement that I've run across many times over the last few years. And this one can be, it's not necessarily just women saying this, but it goes something like this. If there ever is a nuclear war, I don't want to be alive. If America ever collapses, I don't want to be alive. Well, I think about that too, of course, in terms of being a mom. And I think to myself, there really is something worse than me rummaging through dumpsters, looking for food, looking for water for my kids. There is something worse than that. And that would be my children doing that alone. In danger from everything and everybody around them. And that's why I think as parents, we have to take this very seriously. Because think about your vehicle. You do whatever you can to keep your vehicle safe. From the minute you bring the baby home from the hospital, they make sure you have a car seat in the back seat and that it's facing backwards. And you make sure that your tires have enough tread on them. And you do what you can to keep the motor running and tuned up. Mostly because you don't want your family to be stranded by the side of the road. You don't want your family to be in an accident because of something going wrong with the vehicle itself. So if we take those precautions with something as ordinary as our car, then it makes even more sense to take logical precautions when it comes to preparing our family for worst case scenarios, doesn't it? And when you make the decision or you have this thought that you don't want to be alive, you would be making the decision that your kids would be without a parent. Your grandkids would be without a grandparent. And to me, that is not acceptable. Kind of a serious tone on this video today. I'm Lisa Bedford. I'm the Survival Mom, and you can catch my blog at thesurvivalmom.com. I have a book out, Survival Mom, How to Prepare Your Family for Everyday Disasters and Worst Case Scenarios. It's available online and in bookstores. And you can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for your time, and I will catch you the next time around.